guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with what might seem like a bit of a trickier recipe, but I have to say I really enjoyed this one and I found it a lot easier than I thought it would be. As you will see, some things do go wrong in this video, but I thought it would be best to include them just so you can see what not to do. So I'm going to be making a lemon meringue roulade with some homemade lemon curd. So what you can see me doing there was I was just cleaning my utensils, so my whisk and my bowl, with some white wine vinegar just to cut any grease so it will help with the egg white mixture. And I'm preheating my oven to 200 degrees Celsius, and well, I'm preheating it to 180 degrees Celsius because I have a fan oven. Here I'm just separating 5 medium egg whites from the yolks into 2 separate bowls. If you do it to the bowl and then add it to your mixing bowl, it's a lot better, just in case you put any shells or anything in it, you can get it out a little bit easier. I am whisking that up until that's nice and stiff, and I'm just weighing out my 280 grams of caster sugar. And what you want to do is, once your egg whites have become quite stiff, you want to just slowly add the caster sugar, tablespoon by tablespoon. Of course, just make sure you don't get your spoon caught in the whisk. So my mixture was really glossy and stiff, so it was time to put it out onto a baking tray. So I am using my non-stick mat again. As long as it's non-stick paper, then that's fine. Just normal greaseproof won't really work very well, so try and get some non-stick paper or some silicone sheets like I have here. And then you just want to spread the meringue mixture evenly around the entire tin. So you'll see what I don't quite do is I don't quite make the edges straight. In hindsight I would do that because it does make it a lot nicer finish rolling. It can't be perfect, but I think I could have done it a little bit better. But the most important thing is you want it to be roughly the same width for the whole thing, just so it bakes really evenly. So that's going to go into the oven for 8 minutes. But once those 8 minutes are done, you want to lower the temperature to 160 degrees Celsius or 140 fan. And you want to bake it for 15 more minutes. So this is going to make it really nice and golden, crisp on top, and it's going to make it cooked all the way through. So as soon as that's out of the oven, you want to dust some icing sugar onto some baking paper or whatever you have sort of lying around. It doesn't really matter what it is. Just some sort of non-stick paper will do. And you want to flip up the meringue onto the paper so it lands on that, because that paper is going to help you roll up the meringue later on. And then you want to just set it aside to cool, so it's nice and cool when you put your filling in. So I am making the lemon curd now. So now I am adding 100 grams of butter, and I just microwaved it just so it was a bit more softened. And I'm adding it to a heat-proof bowl. Now this is really important because you are going to do a little bain-marie later. And I have added 225 grams of caster sugar, and you want to just make sure that's completely mixed in. My whisk was getting a little bit clogged up, so I changed to a fork there. And then you want to add the 5 egg yolks that you didn't use earlier. I had more in that bowl, but ignore those, they were from a different recipe. So yeah, you want to add the 5 egg yolks that you didn't use from the eggs earlier, which I think is really neat because you aren't wasting any of the egg yolks. So when I made my strawberry pavlova, I just had to sort of waste the egg yolks, but I found a use for them eventually. But it's nice to have a recipe that you don't have anything left over. Then I'm adding the zest of 3 lemons and also the juice of those 3 lemons as well. So now I am whipping up my cream. This is where it starts going wrong. So as you can see, I did whip up my cream a bit too much. It was a bit too like clotted creamy. Yeah, I wasn't happy with that. And this actually goes okay. So you want to put the bowl with all of your sort of lemon zest, sugar, butter, all of that sort of stuff onto a simmering pan. So you don't want it to be boiling because it will make the mixture curdle. But if you just heat it up, take it off the heat, put it back on, just like I'm doing there, it will come out really nice and smooth. It won't stiffen up until it's cool, but as long as it's sort of hot, it's starting to thicken up a little bit, then that should be perfect. Now what you can see here is after I added the lemon curd to what was very stiff cream, and then I tried whipping it and it didn't really work. It probably would have worked like that. It would have been a bit runny. I wasn't happy with it, so I thought, okay, I'll just put it back in the mixer and mix it up. And as you will be able to see, I made some lovely scrambled egg. It had completely curdled. It was disgusting. I had a bit of a cry. I binned it, I came back, had to go out and buy some more cream, was very annoyed, but I started again. And it's fine because the lemon curd was great and I was happy with the lemon curd. So I just needed to make sure I didn't whip up the cream too much. So as you can see, I whip it up far less this time. And the key thing is when you're adding your lemon curd, I think it might be the lemon in the curd, I'm guessing, that makes the cream sort of curdle. But you want to just add a couple spoonfuls, so I had a couple of ladles. Don't worry about the stuff on top, it's like foam from where I whisked it a bit too vigorously. So I had 2 big spoonfuls of that lovely lemon curd and I just mix it in. Now, stop there. If you're not me, stop way earlier. So don't mix it as much as I just did. Then you just place it onto your meringue mixture and you spread it around evenly. Try not to be too rough with it because obviously the meringue is quite delicate on the underside. That is all you do. And then here comes the fun bit. So Mary Berry's tip was cut along the bottom, just about an inch up. Not completely cut all the way through, but just sort of cut through the soft bit on the top. And then you want to sort of crunch it over. As Mary Berry said, it doesn't matter if it's got cracks in it, because apparently that is the point. So you just want to squish it really well. If you don't squish it really well at this stage, you're going to sort of have like a flat rectangle. It's not going to sort of round and curve as you go along, it's just going to roll it along. And then you use the paper just to keep helping you. And then what you want to do is you want to grab whatever you're going to be serving the roulade on. Now I was taking this somewhere with me, so I just thought I'd put it straight into the container that it was going to be in. And you want to make sure that the seam is underneath the roulade so that it's not going to spring up and hit you in the face. So that is it. It ended up being pretty easy and we're all working out okay. Things do go wrong and sometimes you do have to just sacrifice things and throw them away, and some things that are not savable, especially if they're curdled, but everything will work out. It was only a tiny aspect of it that went wrong. So yeah, that's it for today. Definitely going to be making this one again despite my little trauma I had with it. But really enjoyed it and it was really delicious, so definitely recommend that you make it yourself. Alright, thank you guys for watching and I will see you next week with another video.